close that. I think I can run those. Do, boo, do, do. Wait, did the bot not work? Read file error? Oh no! Oh, right, that's all. Oh no. Okay. Right. Where are those stored now? Oh gosh. Oh, I didn't even consider. Oh no. Okay. Oh dear goodness me. I think this entire stream. Oh, we do have a warning for when the scheduled ad break starts. Why does it say the scheduled ad break is in 4 hours? Oh, hello. Not sure if anybody is here yet. I imagine I will be talking in circles for a little bit of today. Oh, okay, Doggo in upper atmosphere is here. Howdy, howdy. It has been, almost 3 months, I think. I think it was May that I last streamed. Is this the stream where we watched the stream? Kind of. Also, Gold, how does this work now? You're in the other room. This is like Dan watching the stream. Speaking of Dan, we'll get to that in a moment. But, does this at least work? It does. Hello. Oh gosh, you can see my random junk in the corner. Realizing, oh my gosh, I forgot how much this thing really tries to follow me. So you're both golden in color, and that confuses my brain. Anyway, yes, the background is different. Many things are different. I guess the image is missing from the top. This is supposed to have like I think a crab. Everything's broken. Technically, I'm still in the same computer. It's just I've got all my files in like a different folder. The bot can't work. Like we're probably gonna get read file error all stream. Okay, some of the commands work. Some of the commands work, but the things that read from disk, dear goodness, the bags of my eyes are like crazy on my camera. Sorry, it is weird. Sorry, I'm looking at myself on screen, and it is a little weird because I'm most used to seeing myself with glasses, but those aren't really relevant when I'm at the desk. So, who is this man? But yeah, so we moved. I'm now in an apartment in North Dakota. The intention, the intention was very different originally. Um, we'll probably be here about a year, and we're still hoping to move. There's a couple nice areas in Minnesota. Okay, one second. I gotta adjust one thing real quick. This is driving me crazy. I didn't realize this was like on. Okay, just put me in one static location, please. I was really zooming for a moment there. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know how much. So Dan made a moving video. Oh my gosh, what is going? This the outdoors are trying to get in. Um, Dan made a moving video. I don't know how much the apartment is in the video, but maybe we'll get a little bit of a tour. Unfortunately, being in an apartment gives us a little bit less like customization ability. I do have like my room is very nice and comfortable. I actually have my desk in sort of a center position. Usually I've been up against the wall. Technically now I can like do more things behind it or like do some wacky stuff. The kitchen here is also very nice. So when I get a chance, I'm gonna do cooking streams. It's such a nice kitchen. I can't like after not being able to do those for a while, like I can't like miss my opportunity. Um to really go all in on cooking some stuff. But I gotta get some good ideas going again. Um but yeah, the walls are very gray and textured. Um the how do I point? There it is. Um the painting here will probably we can tack little nails on the walls, so that'll probably be like part of my backdrop at some point. I didn't realize where the camera angle would actually be. I actually thought this window would be more of a problem, and it is a little bit of a problem. Um, as you, I'm pretty sure if I remove this blanket here, it's gonna just glow like crazy. I moved like I had a bunch of books sitting there so that I could have the window open without those flapping everywhere, and I should have just left the books because they would have blocked all the light. Uh, sorry. Um, I might have overdone it. There's a gym at this apartment, and I'm going to be using it while I'm at an apartment. Because the intention, my last stream at the old house, I had titled it something along the lines of "One Last Stardew Valley Before Stardew Valley IRL." Apartment living is not that. Eventually I'll get my homesteading fun, but for now we're kind of just status quoing a little bit. Like again, things didn't work out entirely like we wanted. Some things fell through, and we just ultimately decided staging me and Dan like here and then working on a house would be much more logical than just putting gold through the ringer of trying to figure all that out and dealing with banks and everything. By the way, banks are really annoying, and that's maybe one of the reasons why we're not in. The economy's bad right now. I mean, like, I'm gonna be talking about everything I've been doing, and having a good time. This last few weeks have been pretty good, but like, let me just take a peek. What's going on in the world, by the way, while I've been. Okay, we're not going out there anymore, okay? We're staying in here where it's nice and safe and not on fire and destroyed and horrible. Um so anyway. Yeah, eventually I get my other computer set up, and eventually I want to redo some of my stream layout things. Oh, I was gonna put music on. I don't have music planned. Whatever. We'll have his video on in a moment. But this is a reaction stream, by the way. He made a video. I'm gonna react to it. Oh no. I don't know. I helped record it. I can put that on stream, right? I don't know. His video is like a really good backdrop of just like I don't know, talking about everything. Um, I mean, I can talk more after the video, so I'm going to just switch back to over here. Do not know why there's no transition. I gotta reconfigure my OBS. I think I moved too many files around and now it's goofy. Also put that back on because it for this, the face tracker is nice. For the other screen, it's just kind of wacky. But anyway, my brother's video. Let's go.
All right, we're finally here. Yesterday was my last day of work.
I'm gonna be pausing this
Tomorrow,
randomly, by the way.
We're getting the moving truck. We're kind of just finishing.
By the way, yeah. So just as a starter, me and him lived in this shed for like the last 8 or 9 months before we moved. His room, I don't have like a way to have a cursor on screen. I'm gonna do something really stupid. This is like the only thing I remember that I can do on here to have a cursor on. I should just get a cursor image. Wait a second. Wait a second. I'm gonna download something. I don't think I have one on me. I just need arrow image, no background. This is dumb. This is real dumb, but I need a solution so I can point to things. Funny enough, I think I see the arrow he used in something at some point. Why are all these arrows like they're technically like the opposite direction of what I want? Whatever. I actually wanted more of a 1 second. Computer cursor, no background. I didn't spell that right. There we go. Save image as to desktop. Give me a second. Give me a second. One thing I did change since the oh, that's huge. One thing I did change since the previous streams. Giant. I have my microphone just directly in front of me now. I'd like to get just a headset mic, though. See, that's where I'm a little conflicted. I like how light these are on my ears. They're like, and it's not putting like a dent in my head. But there we go. But I would really like just a headset microphone, maybe like over here. Just because they're much better for voice than these like standing mics for a lot of things. Anyway, so this wall is like his room. I'm like on the other side, out of view, behind this. I forget. I think I might have been behind the camera recording him for these. I'm not very like experienced with doing recording for him. I'm not sure the vibes he wants. So that was one of the weird things doing like recordings, as I always apparently editing this video was a little annoying for him because I recorded like too much. And I was like a little too in the moment at times. So like I'm behind the camera. Apparently one thing he kind of complained about was we would see things and I would say wowie zowie a little, like a couple too many times. Now granted, I can say something twice and he gets a little frustrated, so I don't know how many times I actually said it, but yeah, apparently I recorded too much, so he had to like cut down a lot of the trip or something. That said, I think it's still like an hour-long video, so like I should probably just get on with it. Anyway, yeah, we were living in the shed, and the closer we got to the move, the more junked up it got, with just like boxes and everything. You'd be amazed at like between the garage and our rooms, like how much space we have left, just in how organized it ends up compared to like what it looked like in this.
It's gonna be a crazy next couple days. So we're finally here picking up the budget truck, and they don't have the dolly yet, but we'll be back for that.
Oh, neat. I don't know if that's a little loud. Yeah, so this day, oh my gosh, can I just, again, this is gonna be, I don't know, maybe this is just gonna be a 2-hour stream and me pausing. Hello, there I am. This day was insane, by the way. Just, we loaded the entire truck in a day. I'm pretty sure, basically. We got the truck loaded the truck, it was like 95 degrees. It was insane. It was like crazy how hot it was when we were loading this truck. Um, and yeah, let me just let the. I really like how we cut this part, by the way. Uh. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff. A lot of it is workshop stuff of his.
So, as long as the time lapse worked, that should have looked neat.
But oh, the time lapse on this camera is so good, by the way.
Last night here, we've just got a couple computer things left. We have the beds to put away, but let me show you what's left. So yeah, just a couple things here left over, computer-wise, some food stuff.
Right. So one thing to note. I was terrified of losing, like, my hard drives or whatnot on the move. Like, I had multiple backups. Like, I had one hard drive that was, like, sitting in the truck with us, in a box and protective stuff. I had another one in his car. I had another one in a safe. I did remove my hard drives from my computer, stuffed the computer full of everything. I expected my computer to just not boot by the time. Like, I don't know. People do warn you about jostling things, and I think I must have just I was paranoid enough that I didn't break anything. I haven't really found anything notable that was broken during the move, by the way. Like, I mean, I have, like, I don't know, little pieces of junk that I have collected over the years that I don't really care if they get too broken, that I didn't pack, like, amazingly, but yeah, like, paranoia, I don't know. I guess it paid off, maybe. Anyway, yeah, so the last few things we packed were like the computers and whatnot that we stuffed in the back of his car, because that was the thing. We had to load up the truck, and then we had to put his car on a dolly. And I mean, you'll see in a second, but the dolly wasn't like, it was like a day away, so we got it, and we got his car loaded up the day we were leaving. Like, on our way out. It's like, what?
The lithium batteries that I got to be very careful about.
Oh, yeah. Also, he's working on...
The lithium batteries that I got to be very careful about.
Oh, yeah. Also, he's working on, like, an electric moped. I don't know how much progress he'll get to be doing on some of that stuff while he's here. That's one of my disappointments of moving into an apartment is, you know, he's just got to, like, figure out what he can do for a year until we get him a workshop. Like, getting him a workshop is like one of my goals long term. But yeah, so he's been collecting. Oh my gosh, we're really back if we're getting spam bots. Here, let me hit the mod button. Ban. I should just delete those. I don't know how often that is. Like, they'll never come back with the same account. And I don't know how many of those are people that have had their accounts stolen. Anyway, I don't know. That's just a weird thing. What was I saying? Yeah, so he does collect items to use for, like, making... Like, he does make, like, battery packs and things. Like, he'll... Like, he's pretty good with lithium batteries and...
Just
stuff.
My mattress, my TV that I want to use tonight. No more desk, just got some clothes.
Oh, here's a funny thing. So he really likes having a TV mounted next to him. But we also had another TV mounted in this room temporarily that we had been watching, like, anime and stuff on Sundays, because we couldn't use the entertainment room anymore because we had him moving in a roommate to sort of fill the gap with us leaving. So the entertainment room became a bedroom. Like, it was the bedroom that I started streaming in, I'm pretty sure. I don't think I did the basement room ever. But that just really big room that was, like, way too big, that's being rented out for our other brother now that we left. So it's really funny. Like, when we first moved into this place, I think it was either this room. I don't think we had the other TV set up. So basically, how it started was us sort of huddling, just sitting on his bed, watching shows on a like TV that he had somewhere in there, maybe mounted on that back wall. Actually, can I get like a better?
It's
Oh, there I am as a cryptid. Yeah, so you can see like the dots on the wall, like all the different things he had done to this room over the years after painting it blue, like just ripping things out and putting them in. Which again, this is why the apartment's rules is only little nails, because otherwise they have to like, what? Huh? What do you mean stream offline? Hello? Uh, uh-oh. Okay, cool. Cool, I was just double checking. A few minutes ago. So, okay, this is one of the things I'm testing with streaming tonight. I feel like if you want to be extra useful, just type in chat every time the stream goes off. Um, I need to figure out how stable it is. I am streaming off of Wi-Fi right now. Now it is like a 6th gen whatever current Wi-Fi cards there are, so it should be pretty good. But there is a chance that it's not as good as like when I was on LAN. I'm really not sure what our long-term solution is going to be. Also, we are technically on just the free package that came with the apartment. So I don't know if like being like if streaming's like way too much for what they're allowing. Actually, we should double check if there's a like bandwidth usage limit within a month. I don't know what it would be, but yeah, just little things to get used to. We can do a paid package at some point. We'll have to figure out whether that's worth it. Um but I it's like I can't 100% tell whether the whether the internet apartment internet or if the Wi-Fi is going to be like more of a problem. But anyway, what I was saying though with his room is yeah, so basically where it started like 12, 13 years ago, I think we moved into this old house in 2012. Again, the end of the world. I think it was around there. Um yeah, so when we started, it was like a TV just mounted on the wall, us sitting on his bed, just kind of watching shows together. And over the years that changed a bit. Um, Also, I forgot I have this little cursor thing, so I can just like point. Um, this is where the TV was mounted. Um, and I have like weird fond memories of that, just because that was where like when it's like, oh, we don't have like a heater set up in here yet. Um, it's easy to get nostalgic for like each of us like bringing our blankets in the cold winter and watching stuff together. There's something about winter, and this is where it's just like, okay, here's the funny thing. Whenever we were telling people we were moving up to Minnesota or North Dakota, everybody's just like, oh, it's cold up there. Everybody, like, oh my gosh, that's the only comment they ever had. It's cold up there. Oh man, I've heard it's cold up there. And so it just became kind of an in joke between us. We even like almost just like glance at each other whenever we would see the comments. But I'm like, okay, after Maryland was hitting like 95 degrees regularly this last summer, I'm like, okay. Now, funny enough, it was getting into the 90s here as well, on and off. But like, it's more so like 95 here. It would have been like 105 in Maryland with how bad this summer has been. Um, and so it's like I'll take 85 is lovely. Like it's been lovely up here. I'll get into it maybe more later, but either way, I don't really actually mind. I've realized I don't mind the cold as much. If you have inadequate like stuff, it's kind of bad, and I think I just need some more long sleeve shirts for the winter for like casual wear. I think that's like one of the few things I'm like missing to like really deal with it. But like some of my issues with the cold were kind of self-inflicted before, of just not having like the right setup to stay warm in the winter. And I'm a bit more prepared for that, but also I don't know, man. Again, it's that classic line of like being um being hot, you can only take off so many layers. Being cold, you can kind of keep adding layers. I found for me that's very relevant. Like I think I agree with that sort of logic. And also a lot of my favorite fashion choices, like I mean, I love like leather jackets and scarves and you know, I have my duster hat and I've got all these like things that they're kind of hot in the summer and the winters aren't cold enough in where I was living before to really justify wearing them as much. Like I didn't live down south, but if I lived down south, I'd be even more disappointed. It's like when would I ever use my scarf? I don't like getting like overly sweaty in my clothes, I guess. And so it's just like, yeah, when it comes to even like fashion, you know, this area is more my speed, I think, in a lot of ways. But anyway, so because it's weird how many fond memories I have of like dealing with the cold. But we haven't had like amazing winters in Maryland uh recently. So, in a weird way, if that's like one of those things that consistently gives me good memories, I think this place is gonna have like some fun memories. Um, but because there's also like I remember we set up this like mini TV with an antenna and just had like local TV running while we were huddled around a fire pit in our backyard in the snow. I think it might have not been snowing. It was at least like freezing cold. I can't remember the details of whether there was snow though. I think it was just cold. That was it's like I have a lot of weird fond memories. I'm also noticing I missed a spot when shaving. Um, Sorry, I get like weird like oh I see myself in a mirror now I'm gonna like nitpick, which is funny because I don't actually like do any skin routine. But I'll nitpick my beard. That's yeah. Um. Anyway, yeah. So here's one of those things which is just like I had to get Dan out of that house. Um. And Dan also wanted out. Obviously, I'm not just like I'm not just pushing my will on him. Like, oh, this poor guy was living in. This was like a 11 by 7 room. Remember how I commented I was living in an 11 by 6 room? Yeah, he only had one extra foot in his bedroom than I did. He was living in this room for like 12 years. Like, oh, I mean, I know it's like, oh, okay, tiny room. You know, plenty of people have small rooms, but you know, he's a tinkerer. He does like a bunch of project stuff, and I know he has the rest of the shed, which is like something I didn't really have to work with while I was in my room for like the last 9 months. But I don't know, man. It's just, I mean, there's just various issues
No
with
more desk. Just got
the
some
limits he had.
clothes.
Oh, yep, cryptid.
Besides the food, everything in this corner is.
There's the chair I'd been using for the last so many years. This is it peeled. I'm on another chair. I should get my own chair and put this one out there at some point, but I kind of regret leaving that mirror behind. Dan convinced me it would just break, and there were like these nails we had to deal with, but I think we could have squeezed that in, and I kind of wish I took it, but I wouldn't really. I don't know. Random comment. This chair was falling apart. You can't really like see all the details. But also yeah, mirror chair. You can see like I added padding. Like this is a taped on piece of foam. I think there was another one here at some point got removed. Like all of this is duct tape. Yeah, by the way, like I'm pretty sure all of this is duct tape. Um this was like starting to crack. You can't see under it. The pole was like reinforced with like a PVC pipe. Um, it's fake leather. You can see this is shiny. This is matte. All of that was peeling off, which is part of why like this was like this. I think there might have been some like foam or fabric under this. By the time I was leaving, this thing had been so flattened and ruined just by me using it for like 10 years. Um, that like I think I had folded up a blanket as like padding, and then I had that other tan blanket on top of it. So like this thing was like a whoa. Put that back, please. This thing was a total mess by the end. Um, but kind of gross too. Like the fact that I put up with it so long is like, I should like. I'm really conflicted. I want to get a proper desk chair, but proper desk chairs will not have like fake leather. They'll have more of like a mesh material, and apparently that's like just it's better for long-term comfort. I really need to do some research on it. I'm a bit mixed because I feel like I need to get a chair cover just because I'll make the chair gross over time because I use it so many hours a day. But that'll also get rid of a lot of the the cooling like factor of a well-ventilated chair. So I don't know. Felt like there was something else that I was going to comment. Oh, also, if you wonder how I don't get carpal tunnel, especially with like a chair like this where like the padding had deflated and your elbow would be leaning on something rough. I have on my desk in front of my keyboard just a small towel that pads that. So my wrist is on padding. Obviously the other wrist has the mouse pad. Under my one elbow is another folded towel. And I've been doing this for years. And under my my left arm is an entire pillow. So, like, if you wonder, like, how does this man survive sitting at a desk so much throughout, like, the week? Week on, week forever. I just pad everything around me. Anyway, we're only a minute and a half through this video. But this is a 4-hour stream, isn't it? Here's my room. Yeah, so Dan did most of the... By most, I mean basically all of the work putting this room together. This is the little tiny room I had been streaming in for the last 9 months. So, like, the bed here, it's a little spread out here just because it's just sat loosely. But this bed was against the wall this way. I mean, I streamed once or twice with my webcam on. I hadn't really been doing webcam for the last bit there. Again, webcam is like a motivation thing, and it's kind of funny. I might still not do it all the time. We'll see how that ends up being. It has always just been like a mental health kind of thing. If I'm not doing it as much, I'm probably not just in the mood to emote to the world. I'm probably just feeling like I'd be streaming with like whatever my weird resting, just tired face is. But yeah, with all of my boxes, all of my stuff that I owned, all crammed into this room would have been fine. I could live in a room this small, long term, if I had a closet or just somewhere else to put some of my stuff.
This kind of disheveled stuff right here.
Hey.
So yeah, the budget truck place did not have the dolly ready. They said they had some issue with the drivers where they couldn't get transportation or something. And
okay, I have a quick question. You can answer by the end of the video. People will always tell me and Dan that we sound like super similar. Like you mix the two of us up. Is it really? I don't know if my microphone makes a difference. When we do the cooking streams or anything together, do we sound like the same person basically, or is it just that we have like you can tell we're related because of our voice? Like that's something I've not 100% figured out. Also, man, the lighting here makes his beard almost look blonde. He's got like similar hair color to me.
They're gonna have it delivered by midnight tonight. So we're gonna go back over there when they open tomorrow at 9.
Yeah, midnight.
And pick it up. So it's finally the next day.
There I am, transferring items.
For us. Got it all hooked up. Johnny's moving the computers into the car. And
his car is so cool, and I hate the fact that this is one of the few views I think you'll get in this. You can't see the Gurren Lagann hood because of my stupid mattress, because I was so busy loading things. Oh, man. But I love his car. It's too bad it's getting really old, though. It's starting to get hard to get parts.
I think we're pretty much ready to go. We really did fill the whole thing. So, good thing I didn't get the smaller one. So we just started the journey. And car's all hooked up. This is the first time in a long time that I've towed anything. So, a little anxious. Once we get on the highway, I think more
You did a great job, by the way.
Be in the clear. But I think the craziest part about this big of a truck is just the fact that I can see, like, the dolly, but I cannot see my car at all.
Yeah. So, these time lapses, I think it's sped up a little extra in the video. Oh, yeah. Getting out of our area was actually probably the hardest part. Well, maybe not the hardest part. There was a couple pieces of traffic midway. But getting out of, like, Western Maryland area was, I mean, you know, you gotta go through, like, West Virginia and then up through Pennsylvania before you get to Ohio. That was probably some of the more stressful things, especially because he was getting used to the car still, and it was, like, some of the crazier parts of the journey. I'm noting some audio desync. Can't tell if it's early or late. On my voice? Oh, I don't know, or is it on the voice or the video? Like, Okay, 1 second. I actually could probably fix this real quick. This is kind of a, you know, testing stream. I might have adjusted some timing on, like, the way everything's plugged together. Let me just boot the stream up and see if I can't figure that out. I'm gonna have to clap, forgive me. But that's the best way I can sync this up. But that's the best way I can sync this up. Whoa, how bad is that? Dear goodness. Test. Ooh. The heck? Wait a second. I wonder if I'm using a different plug now. Test. Okay. That's weird. Test. Wait. Is that... Do I have a setting? Test. Test. Ah. What? Oh, it's auto quality. I don't have enough viewers to get better. It's auto quality. I don't have enough viewers to get better. It's auto quality. I don't have enough viewers to get better. Okay. I wonder how long it's been broken like this. I might have to... Let me try that. Let me try that. Let me try that. Wait. 1 second. Is that not enough? I'm sorry. This is dumb. Let's try something more aggressive. I I I That's closer. That's closer. That's closer. That's closer. Man, that's like 100 milliseconds. Man, that's like 100 milliseconds. Man, that's like 100 milliseconds. Man, it's better, but I might have to do some testing off stream. This is the kind of like weird troubleshooting. This is the weird kind of troubleshooting I'm gonna probably have to do just because some of my like plugs are in different things, and you know. I'm gonna have to do this all over again when I get the new computer set up. I don't know why there would be 100 milliseconds of delay. Maybe there was always supposed to be. You know, I remember having to do that before. But yeah, if it's better now, that's good. What's your opinion? Do you think everything like does it feel like the audio is correct? Ba 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 ba. 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 I could probably do that to sync it up. Looking better? Okay, cool. Okay, so where was I? I was on the early part of the trip. Yeah. Oh yeah. So it sped up a little extra, but the webcam that I used to use as my streaming webcam before I swapped it out for this one when he wanted it back, turns out that one does like amazing time-lapse footage. I don't know if he kept all of it sped up. I hope one or two of them is just left normal. But like something about seeing the clouds on the time-lapse is like my favorite part. Heck yeah. Yeah, it's very windy in this part. Appalachian Mountains and all that. Also, I hope all of this is copyright free like he tried to get. Maybe I should put the volume down on these parts anyway, just so I can talk over them.
Use half of our gas to get up this hill.
Right.
Yeah. Funny enough, there was another mountain like this later that's like not a big tourist thing. And it's like so undernoted, but it's like equally as big. But this is like
up onto the little tourism like bridge.
It's
Yeah,
me.
I think Ruben had like one of the few like Boy Scout things that he had, or like pre-Boy Scout. I can't even remember what it was, but they had some sort of thing up here.
Blasted right through a mountain.
The neat little transportation museum that they do has a nice like drone footage of this.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's the first one. I probably did say it a bunch. Yeah. That felt like the real like, oh, we're leaving kind of moment.
Not burning the transmission? Or
yeah, not destroying the brakes.
brakes, yeah.
the view was pretty nice. One thing I can say is that, oh yeah, we were still trying to figure out the webcam position, by the way. It was like kind of just sort of taped to the dashboard.
So, I thought Cycling Hill was bad enough. It's been ages since I've gone down through the Cumberland Valley, and it's all hills like this. It's pretty impressive.
One of my disappointments, and this is the downside to using a phone camera, though granted, I don't know, maybe this webcam camera is nicer for some of it, somehow. The focal length on the phone is way different than eyeballs are. So, some things were more impressive looking to me than what I was recording on the phone. Like windmills, for instance, they just looked tiny on the phone compared to what I could, what they looked like. Also, yeah, this is Cumberland, I believe. This is a weird city where it's like a really old school style city. The entire, like, it really is just a highway overpass over the entire town, it feels like. And very bumpy, by the way, as you can probably tell. But yeah, definitely got that sort of old school New England vibes going on. I kind of feel bad for some of these cities where, like, they're not doing great. I guess a lot of industry left. But it's like, if it wasn't for the, like, sort of economic concern of living in a place that's dying, which is part of what feedback loops it on dying, I feel like I would probably live in a couple of these places. Like, I don't know, they just seem nice in certain ways. Like, aesthetically, I like the Appalachian Mountains.
So, gotta be close to the furthest I've ever gone.
Hello, Lim. Yeah, at least temporarily North Dakota, eventually Minnesota. I'll let Dan speak before I talk over him with what I was saying.
Now, that being said, only a couple miles ago, I realized there is a tow button in this that actually does downshift when you're going down hills. So that would have been helpful.
Yeah, so, where was I? Oh yeah, Appalachian Mountains, if it wasn't for the economic struggles in general, just...
Well,
whoa.
I guess we got our chance of rain, like it said. I'm not sure if you can hear me over it, though.
It was loud.
Oh my goodness sakes.
It was very loud. But yeah, if there was, like, more viable, like, work or living situation stuff, I think I would stay in the Appalachian Mountains. Just because they do seem, I mean, they're what I'm familiar with. They're very pretty. You know, you go anywhere, you have some nice hilly things. So, we'll get into that maybe later. I forget how much it comes up. A mix of both worlds. Part of my brain is kind of curious how nice Wyoming is. Because Wyoming had some areas that reminded me of it, but, oh man, yeah, one second. I gotta go back in this video for a second. But, yeah, the bot's gonna be broken today. I wonder what it was trying to respond to you. The yeah probably was trying to say nah. Yeah, so Wyoming had like a couple spots that reminded me of it, and we'll maybe get there. I don't know how much footage. By that point, we were really tired, but we have like stories. I forget at this point we might have been going. We might have been passing from West Virginia into Pennsylvania. And there was this moment, I don't know how much besides the time lapse, I don't think I recorded it. it just felt like a wall of darkness as we were like going through. Let's see. Yeah, like it. I mean, look at how cool that is on the time lapse. Just the clouds getting dark for a moment, and then yeah, just absolutely downtrenched us. Again, this had to be some of the hardest parts of the journey for Dan. If we got to something like this while he was exhausted near the end of the trip, like that would have been miserable. But I think it kind of works out fine that it was all near the start. And yeah,
So we just got done our first stop. We've been about 180 miles. We've been driving since what, 10 a.m.?
Yeah, about 10 a.m. A little earlier if you include the traffic to get the car in the morning.
So yeah, the only crazy thing with the stop was the fact that I was having a hard time finding a spot. They had truck parking, but it was back in truck parking. There's no way to park otherwise, and with this dolly, I can't actually back in with it. So I ended up getting a spot. We got subs for lunch. Texted our parents just to say where we were. We still got a little bit of the Appalachian Mountains to go, but I think we're through the worst of it. We're through the worst of the rain. Unfortunately, my car, with as many holes as it has, there is a little bit of water that got in, but other than that, it's mostly dry.
yeah. So I ended up responsible for building us a route to get out of Maryland into North Dakota. And for the most part, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out after, like, modifying it a bit and all that. However, there were just spots that did not give us very good options for, essentially, we were looking for truck stops. And what I've come to learn is not all truck stops are, like, made equally. I need to actually, like, look and figure out if there's, like, a specific thing I have to look for if we ever have to do this again. I was expecting more places to have pull-through parking where you have, like, 2 parking spots where a longer vehicle can take it up. And there were a couple places like this. Weirdly enough, closer to the end of the trip more than the beginning. But near the beginning of the trip, there were not, like, proper truck stops in very good locations. One of the things I was trying to do is make sure we were always going to the right, so that pulling in and then pulling out would be easy. But, yeah, a couple of the gas stations weren't great. There was one gas station in particular later on in the trip, which was, like, a little bit of a pain, because, I didn't realize half of the things were diesel only, and yeah, the diesel only ones would have been the easy ones to pull into. Yeah, that one was a pain, and that was near the end of the trip. We were both kind of a little fried. Not a big fan of how that went. I do wish I was a little bit better at just in general helping with navigation, but I mean, we got there. It worked out fine, I guess. We could have recorded more between clips, but we started kind of forgetting along the way. I think we got plenty. I mean, it is a nearly hour-long video, so. But yeah, Appalachian Mountains. Being that was our first stop, we should be leaving the Appalachian Mountains soon-ish. At least the major selection of them. It is definitely interesting how it changes once you get out of it. But yeah. So, there is one thing. Actually, let me pause for a second. There is one thing. I ranked each state based on how bad the roads were, and I feel like maybe you can absorb that through the time lapse. There was a lot of construction at the beginning when we were trying to get out of the area, you might have noticed. I'm wondering if you pay enough attention or any attention at all, whether you'll be able to figure out the states we went through. We started in Maryland, we went to West Virginia, Pennsylvania. Now, West Virginia and Pennsylvania, barely in those two states. But it was Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wyoming, Minnesota, and then finally North Dakota. Of those states, I don't know. I'll talk about my ratings later, but I wonder if you'll be able to guess the rankings. Oh my gosh, sorry. Yeah, going through some of these areas and seeing in the time lapse how bad the roads were getting. Oh, it got so crusty. Yeah, this was bad.
Hey, Spooky. Welcome to Ohio, I guess.
And remember, he was driving a 20-foot truck, probably 25 foot in total, with an extra car on the back. I mean, we were easily a 30-foot vehicle, I think. Again, Dan did a great job driving. I don't think we had any, like, major hiccups. This was terrible. I was never entirely sure where to point the camera at some points.
Yeah, I think past the... Yeah, there's a river. Wow, look at that.
Oh, this is the Ohio River.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Now, I can't remember. I think we were technically in West Virginia on that last, like, terrible bit of road. But, road construction is our welcome.
There we are. There's the Ohio sign.
Aha! From one hell state to another. Yeah, wheeling, I believe.
But, was I saying something? Yeah, the closest I can think to of any, like, hiccups with driving around was, like, once or twice where he, like... So, okay. It's really hard to, like, ever complain about any of the driving things that happened, just because one of the catches with, using the budget trucks, they do not let you back up if you have a trailer. We had dealt with, like, a trailer stuff before when we used to do the church that didn't have its own storage space. Wow, look how bad those roads are. So he would have been able to handle backing up with, like, me doing spotting, but physically, it would not let you back up the vehicle. It would, like, it had, like, a locking mechanism if you did that. So there were just, like, one or two spots where it just, like... There was kind of no choice. You kind of had to go over the curb a tiny bit to turn that truck. But besides that, like... It's not like we hit anything. It's not like we had any close calls. Yeah, it was really, really good driving. And yeah, I love the time-lapse footage just because, I mean, it's cool to see all the stuff back again, considering, you know, this was like 36 hours of my life. But the clouds, dude, they're so cool to me.
Alright, we are a quarter of the way there. We got our second...
Right, quarter with it. It feels like it, that first quarter, I'm not gonna lie, did feel like it zoomed by pretty fast.
We're like 20 miles right outside of, what is it, Columbus, Ohio?
Mm-hmm. Columbo, Ohio.
Random pilot station. Gas mileage is doing better. Now that we're over the mountains,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
10.3 miles to the gallon instead of like 8 miles to the gallon. And we're just going to keep on going and see how far we get until I get really tired. So I guess we're on to it.
So I had given him a couple options. The crazy option was to get there in 2 days. The realistic option was 3 days. He could have rested anytime he wanted, but he went completely beast mode. And really just like went for it. I will say this is one of those things where I hate the fact that I have little driving experience and have never used a larger vehicle. He had to do all the driving. This is where that's why it's just like our sort of arrangement was that I would deal with the navigation. I would deal with like snack distribution, like I would just co-piloting for him basically, with him doing all the actual heavy lifting. I really did try my best with what little I could do to help, and all that. And I mean, there is some convenience, he never had to open a bottle himself, and I was always opening the wrappers of the food, and that's got to be at least somewhat nice, right? But I tried my best. What's a yawn? Oh my goodness. Also, yeah, we're going around Columbus, Ohio in this segment. It was rush hour traffic, and it was a little crazy. This was a kind of stressful segment for sure. Though unfortunately, not the. I don't know. This beltway was pretty bad because there's a lot of road construction, but that was also the summary of the entire trip was road construction. I want to argue that Ohio had the worst roads, which is spoilers to my ranking later. Also, the clouds, dude! I love time lapses. And yeah, you can tell we're getting flatter now. And again, there was like a lot of city beltway traffic there, but yeah, I really am just mesmerized with the clouds. Also, yeah, there was a bunch of road junk. I'm trying to remember if at this point we would have already been... No, maybe Indiana was still a little ways away. I can't remember. It's really hard to tell because I'm not sure whether this part of the time-lapse includes our next break. I know we'll definitely be in Indiana by the next break. Because basically the 3 hours was from before Columbus, Ohio to before Indiana. Or before Indianapolis, sorry. But the amount of road construction. Like, one thing I'm glad I went with truck stops. I'm glad I went with truck stops because, like, a large percentage of the travel, like, center, like, rest stops, like the actual proper rest stops, those were just closed for whatever reason. Or some of them were being, like, rebuilt, so.
What? Oh, yeah.
I'm not... there it is, just one little sign.
Tiny Indiana sign.
Oh yeah, finding the sign was always...
Road work.
Okay, so now we're in Indiana. And, yeah, road work. Road work ahead. I wonder if he kept that. There was a moment. I really should have done a follow-up joke to soften, like... It sounded like we were, like, really getting snappy with each other. I kind of feel bad, like... But it was fine.
So, I believe...
Look at that, that's pretty.
The Midwest by now. You've got clouds spanning off into the distance and pretty much cornfields forever.
I really hope he kept that joke in. It's so bad.
So, how are you feeling so far, Dan?
So we've been driving for about 8 hours. Well, actually a little bit more than that if you consider that we had to go back down to pick up the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I've been driving for like 9 hours. Doing pretty good.
My poor man. My poor boy. My poor bro. What have I done to him having him do this whole trek? It was overcast for a good bit. I think it might rain a little bit here. I can't remember. most of like the weather and heat was on the first part. Like, okay, oh yeah, here's where this was unfortunate. We had like really slow traffic for a while. Wasn't even ever entirely sure for what reason.
After 12 hours of driving, we finally hit our first actual slowdown, which is kind of impressive if you think about it. Especially since, where did we go through? Chicago?
Columbus.
Columbus, Ohio. We went through and kind of went through rush hour and was fine.
Yeah, that was still the beltway around Columbus, but yeah, I did not expect that beltway to be as crazy as it was. We're trying not to go straight through the city.
I actually wonder how bad going straight through the cities would be. It had to.
Yeah, the ironic part.
The beltways must have been better, even if they were a bit longer.
Was 20 minutes away, so we'll see how long that takes.
Right.
Imagine going straight through a city with a truck. Like, that just sounds crazy. I mean, maybe it would have been fine, but I don't know. Also, yeah, he really went for it. Like, you know, we're getting into nighttime. The camera can only do so good in darkness. I forget if it does have a night mode that kicks on, but I don't think so. I think he might have had to just brighten up the video. Ooh, flashing light warning. Dear goodness. I wonder if he kept in the footage of, like, a truck getting, like, kind of weird. At one point. Like, we're doing fine and a truck feels like it's almost, like, losing its grip on the road. Colombo, Ohio. Indianapolis. I think... You know, it's pretty late at this point. I forget. I'm trying to remember. I think he went to like 1 or 2 in the morning. It was a bit much. And this is we're almost at a part where well, we learned a very important lesson about coming to truck stops very late at night whenever we eventually get there. Again, I love this camera. Oh my gosh, this camera. I think he might have traded out a card just to be sure, but like this camera did so good on time lapses. I think it was a frame like every 2 seconds or something like that was how it handled it. And I'm just so impressed with the time lapses this thing did. Like, I mean, this thing did a whole basically 24-hour time lapse. No problem at all. Man, it really does. I forgot just how long he actually drove in the dark, to be honest. There was a point around this spot, when it got dark, I had actually dozed off. It could have been for like 20 minutes. I don't think he even noticed. And like, I basically woke back up to give instructions. It's like, I can't stay awake in vehicles. Like, I might actually stay awake better if I were driving. But, passenger, it's bad.
Entered. Yeah. How many of these states have we entered? Just the entry to the state is construction. Right.
Okay, so, man, I forgot. Yeah, Indianapolis is kind of on the eastern side of it, I think. Most capital cities, for some reason, are, or largest cities, I guess. You'd think they'd be more centered, but no. It's because the states are divided by, like, rivers, I guess. So we were in Indiana for a while. We're in Illinois now. Just smooth nighttime driving for a while. Whoa, the lights are back. Guess this is probably, was it Bloomington? Maybe we're getting close to, I'm not sure. Or maybe we just, I don't know where we're past, actually. I don't remember. I just know where we stopped for the night. I legitimately forgot it was this much night driving. I guess the sun did go down around like 9 or 10 or whatever, and so that's a good 5 hours if he went till about 2. I can't believe he did that, by the way. That's like, again, beast mode. My only, like, the only disappointment is that means, like, I have no idea what's out in this area at all. It was all at night. So, like, it's kind of like how when I first entered Arizona when visiting Gold, the first night I'm just like, oh yeah, this is just a regular American city. I couldn't see anything past the roads because it was so dark. Okay. I'm gonna let him talk, but I feel like there might be details that'll get filled in along the way. We'll see.
So, ooh, let me not shake the camera around. Good morning.
I'm just like shell shocked, dude. I don't know, man. Something about the way what this trip did to me, and Gold knows for sure with the way we got here. I was just like destroyed. And again, like the coloration of my webcam might be a little bit more orange than it needs to be. I really don't know how to balance the colors on this. There we go. I'm not a tan fellow. It just looks that way on camera. What a face. I'm unshaven, disheveled. Though obviously part of it is just the fact that, you know, wearing my glasses, I do look a bit different. I don't know. Compare. These are the same people. I don't know. To me, it just looks so silly.
We got in. We ended up going to a pilot at like 1:30 in the morning.
I don't even know anymore. It was like
technically
like
with
2.
technically with the time change, it was 1:30 or 12:30.
Oh yeah, time change on top of it.
Maybe.
Yeah. So
I never quite
from
digested that.
Indiana to Illinois, right?
Yeah, I think we're in Illinois.
And yeah,
I'm so tired.
we gained an hour. Or we lost an.
I don't know how this works anymore, dude.
We got an additional hour. But the clock on the radio hasn't changed here, but the phone's dead.
I'm so out of it, dude.
We stopped at the pilot, got gas. There was no truck spots available, so we went.
I'm slowly understanding why when we got here in like the first day or two or whatever, Dan like was like weirdly apologetic and making sure like, are you okay? Are you upset? Like there was a little bit of that. I was not upset with like anybody. You know, the ultimate like what my pixel a day whatever like mood calendar thing, like it's been pretty good. And so I'm understanding now. I in my head am like fine. Out externally, apparently I'm like a nasty little gremlin or something. Like I have a resting anger face or something like that when I'm tired, just sleepy. The muscles must all just melt or something. And I feel like you can see it in this scene. It's just like, okay, watching it back, I understand. Thank goodness that is like later on I clarified. No, I'm okay. Everything's good. I'm just tired. Oh my gosh, dude.
Went over to the TA. Where I think we're in Bloomington.
Yeah.
And we sort of found a spot. Nobody yelled at us, so we were happy.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen this yet. What am I? Dan is like, you know, he's recording, he's doing his thing. There's just something.
We sort of found a spot.
What am I doing? I'm so sorry if this is just like stupid, but like I'm like just figuring, like, because again, my job here is to manage everything, make sure things are plugged in, charged, sift through the snacks, grab anything out of the bags as necessary. like, so I should know, I'm like squeezed in. It's not a very large seat that I had, and we had to like prioritize making sure he had as much space as possible for comfort. Like, that's one thing. We got the pillow here. This was actually one of my pillows. I ended up like letting him use it for a lot of the trip, and just like all that. So like I'm just over here doing my management morning things because there was a little bit of panic in my head. I didn't want to feel like I was delaying him ever. So I kind of did have to get to business, just doing things like, sorting things out, making sure that when he's like, "Alrighty, can we go?" I like have my maps open. I've got everything open. So like I'm just doing business in the background. But boy, what a disheveled like monster of a person do I look like right now.
Nobody yelled at us, so we're happy. Got several hours of sleep. We were gonna go to the restaurant here, but it is closed. So we're gonna go back over to the Pilot, see if there's a spot now, and then eat something. And then we'll have another, 15 hours of travel.
Or something, I don't know. Are you gonna be okay?
It'll be alright. We'll figure it out.
I ask, dying. Okay, so I can fill in a couple more details on that I kind of interrupted his thing midway. We learned a lesson. We learned the lesson that truck stops are completely full at night. Like, 100% full. So our sort of thing is, we didn't really know if we would be able to do, like, an inn or a hotel or motel or whatever. That would be an extra cost on the trip. That would be, like, a whole logistic thing. I don't know. Getting those on the fly, we didn't know exactly which city we would end up in. We ended up in the city that I kind of thought we would anyway, because he's a beast. And drove that whole first 12 plus hours or whatever. Or I think it was about 12 hours or whatever. And so, yeah, the truck stops were full. There might have been a back-end parking, but again, we can't back up the truck. It has a lock against that. All the pull-through parking, at the very least, was full. And we didn't want to end up trapped either. So it's just like, yeah, we ended up kind of on the edge of where it was parked. In just a spot where we thought we wouldn't be in the way. I don't think anybody was bothered by it. I really wish, I really wish, because we checked 2 or so truck stops trying to find a spot. I really just wish that these places had this smaller parking like the ones we encountered later in the trip. Later in the trip, there was just better parking in like some of the last few ones we dealt with. Yeah, so our night that night, I mean, you wonder why I'm so tired. We settled in at like 2. So his car is on like the back of the trailer. So leaning back, and we figured, oh, we can sleep in the car. That should work. I should have just slept in the truck, to be honest. Because what ultimately ended up being is we prioritized him getting rest. And so he ended up with like the pillow and just like, yeah, we just did everything to make sure he was as comfortable as possible. I didn't really sleep that night. Unfortunately, snoring does not comply with my brain very well, and I did not sleep. I should have just slept in the truck. It would have been better for me. I would have been more rested. I might have gotten 1 or 2 hours of sleep. I'm not really sure how much at all, because unfortunately we ended up waking up at 6 in the morning. So he got maybe 4 hours of sleep. So again, I can't complain too much about not getting sleep, because I'm not the one driving. He's driving the last 12 or so hours on 4 hours of sleep. Oh. But yeah, we were out of it. I mean, I'm glad he at least got some, but man, I was out of it for the rest of the trip. Anyway, yeah, I think we can continue on. Yeah, so, truck stops, if you're getting in the middle of the night, it's a complete no-go. And honestly, truckers get angry if somebody, like, steals their spot. So, I don't know. Maybe just don't use truck stops for this. It was the only thing I could find online at the time. When I had looked into this, but, yeah. Clear skies. I'm wondering whether or not the haze is any of the forest fire stuff I had seen before.
In the Midwest. It is also definitely morning. How you feeling so far?
Still waking up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely doing that. Also dealing with the frustration of trying to figure out potential toll annoyance. I guess that's just
Yeah.
part of the, well, I would say the welcoming kit of Illinois, but more like we have to pay to get out, it feels like. I might have messed up a little bit on my routing. Not noticing it bypasses a tiny little section of highway near one of the towns. And I'm trying to figure that out now. Because otherwise it's like possibly a $10 toll for the tiniest piece of highway possible. But yeah, let's focus on the windmills and the flatness.
Can you even see windmills in this? I'm not even sure. I don't think he kept some of... Oh, wait, there's some windmills. Yeah, okay, we got some windmills. Cool. I don't know if he kept one of the earlier clips. There are windmills in West Virginia. On the mountains. It's the coolest thing ever, but they didn't show up on camera well, so I think he just cut that. That's kind of disappointing, but oh well. Again, there was a lot of B-roll footage. I actually kind of didn't expect him to have the entire time-lapse in the video. Like, part of me was just like, oh yeah, just put it uncut in another video and use little bits of it. But, yeah, no, this is just basically the time-lapse video. Okay, so me talking about the toll thing here is my one major frustration with me routing. We had two route options. One went through Iowa and up, and one went through Wyoming and up. Now, I'm not sure whether either route would actually have avoided toll roads. I think we could have gotten out into Iowa without toll roads, but the way up to Wyoming, you do not notice until it's too late that Google Maps and my other app thing will route you through the side streets of a city, just wiggling you through it to bypass a toll road, which if we were in a regular car would have been viable, but the main highway, which I didn't really think interstate, I thought it was still an interstate highway. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I didn't think interstate highways would have like toll road problems like that. And so, yeah, we ended up just eating the toll. I was like frustratedly on my phone for a little while just trying to figure out any other route we could do. But my main thing I did not like about Illinois, which unfortunately Illinois was like up there at this point after Indianapolis, or after Indiana and Ohio, like Illinois had good roads. But it had this stupid toll road situation, which kind of, like, messed up some of my rating of it. Which, that's where I'm mixed, because the tolls pay for the quality of the road, and it's like, but then, you know, other states had better roads and didn't have that stupidity. I guess it's just, if you live in that area, you just have to have an easy pass, I think. I'm not sure what came of that, though, because the truck rental told us that if they got any toll bills, they would forward it to us to pay. We haven't gotten anything yet. We looked at the Illinois Tollway website. We couldn't find We couldn't find it there. So I'm a little worried. We're probably going to get at some like point because apparently the thing we didn't realize is we thought we could just search by license plate number and then find like what the license plate on the truck would be. I don't remember the truck having a license plate. I think maybe it did. But we couldn't find Dan's car being pulled by it, and unfortunately it required to have like a name to search. So you'd have to find like I guess the name of who the vehicle is registered to and the license plate to find it on the website. And unfortunately, it's not like we'd have the name for the budget truck. So I don't know. I really actually do not know like whether this is just a thing where maybe those just don't get billed, or if there's like a very specific setup for that billing those, or what. I'm really hoping we don't get some stupid expensive late fee forwarded to us in like a month or two. It is also stupid because people from Illinois, their advice ranged from you should have had an easy pass to begin with and just don't pay it. Whoa. But whatever. It worked out in the end. I mean, if I wasn't being like fussy about it, I don't think it would have been like a big deal, but I mean, if we do get a bill, I'll just pay it for Dan. But yeah, windmills. I really wish more of them could have been on video, but some issues with getting them to look actually good on camera. They are huge in real life. They really are. Now, I said Illinois had like decent enough roads. This section was definitely patchier.
I feel like there's a river here somewhere. But all I see down there are trees. Maybe in a moment, no trucks.
I forget, was this us like crossing like Mississippi or something? I don't know.
And river? No, that's not the river yet. The river's still this bridge. What am I doing?
This is a long
I
bridge.
don't think I ever woke up. I don't know what those buildings are over there. But anyway, second.
That's grass.
There's too much sun. I just wanted a nice clean transition into river.
You know, I didn't really notice that, like, what is that barge thing?
I have no idea where we are.
I never really noticed that when I was recording it, partially because the sun was just in my eyes. Yeah, the fact that the roads in Illinois were still, like, patchy for a chunk of it, but were, like, still better than what it felt like in Indianapolis and Ohio. I don't know, maybe that just says something about how bad those other roads were. Thing is, we never had to go through like a major city bypass in this state, or in... Am I saying... Have I been saying Wyoming the whole time? Again, I've been meaning Wisconsin. Okay, correct every instance of Wyoming. Wisconsin. Cheese grommet. Oh my gosh, how many of those did he have to cut out? I'm so sorry, Dan. Wyoming is just all cheese. I mean, they advertise it. You can't blame me. We'll get there in a moment. Or in 1,000 years, because Illinois is, like, huge. Is this the city? This might be the city where the toll road was. I can't remember. Or the highway segment. Wisconsin is cheese. I hate the fact that I always mean Wisconsin, and I keep saying Wyoming. They're weirdly similar in some ways. Yeah, it was right after. The toll, like, was literally to leave the state, by the way.
Oh no. Wisconsin's still under construction.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a spoiler. I think Wisconsin had the best roads in the entire journey. I feel like you can almost already tell that they're very clean and smooth. I do not know why their roads seemed so good during the segments that we did. Part of it, and this is like part of my judgment of the roads, they did really good construction, like, habits. Like, they had some very interesting ways of, like, bypassing you onto, like, other segments to do the construction they were doing, and I don't know, it was way, like, the construction segments were not a pain. Which, yeah, I think this would have been, like, basically rush hour or whatever. I can't remember what time of day it would have been.
Oh. Mid-Wisconsin?
Right? Sort of.
Yep, I think so. So, mid-Wisconsin. We've got, what, 8 hours?
Yep,
8 hours
of
left?
driving.
Okay, so, obviously couldn't go through Wisconsin.
Man, no, that would have been
without
still
buying some sort of
morning.
cheese. So I got, cheese
So,
curd and,
why did we buy just a little pack of
sausage
cheese
sticks.
curds?
and that's about all the Wisconsin that we'll get out of this trip.
I think he... Okay. I am realizing I am not the speed that Dan likes for his video content. I think he cut out every joke I made. I don't know. This video still got a bit more time. Maybe they're in there somewhere, but I guess he was wanting something more aesthetic, and I was just kind of comically going with the flow. Can I get like a B-reel, like, cut of the trip, of all the stuff that he cut out? Can we get the outtakes, please? Man. I was actually, yeah, I was admittedly expecting him to intersplice more of the little things I recorded. Especially because there were cases where he was, like, requesting me to do stuff with his phone, but I don't know. But yeah, Wisconsin, you can tell, is like a whole vibe. Oh wait, he kept one.
Out in the middle of nowhere, of these weird, neat, singular structure rocks. And also there's like a small mountain over here. That's about it.
Okay, maybe he kept a couple things.
Right? The environment out here is interesting because it's a bit more wooded than the sort of plains area. It's a little bit more hilly. There's just got weird lumps.
Yeah, so Wisconsin's interesting to me because it's still very flat, but it's interspersed with segments that remind me of the Appalachian Mountain areas. And it's just got these just chunks of rock everywhere. Well, not everywhere, just in random locations. You pass by and you have like pseudo badlands. But yeah, as you can tell, this area of Wisconsin is very much more comparable to the Appalachian Mountain. It's still very flat by comparison, but I think it's weirdly welcoming. I don't know. Maybe we'll find areas out here to camp or something at least. I'm trying to remember how long until we actually get to Minnesota, because we had to go quite a ways through Minnesota. So that was a whole... I mean, Wisconsin ended up actually being the longest chunk of the trip, but I think like in single state. But Minnesota was still a good like 4 hours or so. Something like that. And oh boy, trying to bypass Minneapolis. Oh yeah, so okay, sorry. 1 second. I'm gonna go back a moment. Here's an example of what I mean about Wisconsin's road construction. They give you a bunch of warning, they bypass you off to the side, they're doing like a load of stuff over there. But for that entire segment, you're just on like a really nice, smooth, regular road. they did such a good job with how they laid out that construction. Whoever's managing that, like, compared to some of the other highway work where they just, like, squeeze you over in, like, terrible, awkward ways, like, I don't know, the roads out here just seemed really well done. In terms of, like, how the road work was handled and everything. And yeah, there were a couple, like, some of the gas stations on this part of the trip were, like, better than the ones that we had done early in the trip, but other ones were, like, kind of smaller and more awkward. But, yeah, this part of the trip, you can kind of tell by this point of the trip, we were both very tired. Dan wasn't doing as many of, like, the little update recordings, at each of the stops. We really just wanted to gun it and get there before sunset. And yeah, we really did just kind of get there, get our mattresses in, and I forget what else we did that evening,
Just about to leave Minnesota in just a minute here.
Leave Minnesota?
Huh?
We're just about to enter Minnesota.
Yeah.
You said we were just about to leave Minnesota.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, no, yeah, we're about to enter Minnesota. We're about to leave
Kept
Wisconsin.
that in, which is funny.
Of course, the roads got a little worse here, but I would say so far, Wisconsin has had the best roads of the trip.
Yeah.
It was really nice and smooth.
I think Minnesota was number 2, as the further spoiler.
But I guess we're getting...
Which is saying something...
So, the chaos has begun.
Unfortunately, yeah, a lot of this haze, I think, is from the Canadian wildfires. We could not see the Minneapolis skyline at all. Unfortunately, there have been a lot of days like this. It's quite beautiful out a lot of times, but when that haze comes through...
Chonky River. Oh, I can't even see it on that side anymore.
Yeah, states really are just divided by rivers.
Film in the river till they get across.
I feel kind of bad. One thing I didn't realize is sometimes the camera was recorded in vertical mode.
Minnesota, I think. Somewhere across that bridge.
Yeah, so now that we're out of Wisconsin, I can say for sure that, I guess I made too many cheese jokes. I swear I recorded several... Maybe we didn't record them. Maybe we were just saying them, but I swear at least one of the recordings was me zooming in on, a giant piece of cheese on a sign and going, "The cheese grommet!" I think I did that once or twice on camera, and my sense of humor, it displeases him. Yeah.
Second
Minneapolis.
last leg of the journey. We're just kind of circling Minneapolis right now.
Circling it. Not really.
A little bit of congestion, which is just about rush hour, so that's not really surprising. We're almost there. We got what? 3.5 hours, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And we just got confirmation that our roommate has the key, so that's all set.
So yeah, this would
We're
be
almost
3 or
there.
4 in the evening.
So close now.
We just have to escape Minneapolis.
Yeah, it was so hazy at this point. And yeah. Man, I wouldn't even say this is rush hour traffic yet. I think this is just how going around Minneapolis is. I will say, for as nice as some parts of the roads in Minnesota were, which there were some rough patches, maybe it's number 3. Illinois, if I get past some of my annoyance, was maybe a little smoother. I will say, like, Minnesota did the Wisconsin thing with, like, bypassing you off to the side. It wasn't quite as smooth as with Wisconsin's. But you can see a lot of the bypass was under construction for a bit there. Minneapolis is a very large city. It took quite a... Like, you felt like you were, like, already, like, past it. Maybe at this point we were? It's really hard to gauge how long an hour of driving is in the time-lapse. We might still technically be going around it at this point. I can't remember. There were... Like, I'm just trying to think... I swear we get stuck in traffic because people are stupid. And greedy and terrible. Which, yeah, every instance of getting stuck in traffic was the same issue of people being greedy and stupid, making it worse for everybody. There was a point where there was like a construction segment where things were slower, and I'm pretty sure the traffic was slower than it ever needed to be because people were getting off an off-ramp and getting on another ramp and just like... I don't know, man. It was really stupid. Also, yeah, I think we're definitely way past Minneapolis at this point. Yeah, I guess that was a shorter segment of the trip. Yeah, this is the only thing you'll see with Minnesota, especially their roads, is you'll see those horizontal cracks along the way, which I think are a result of freezing. I guess it's probably just a lot of road to fix. Yeah, this is probably maybe one of the worst segments of the road. I don't know if we have better materials than asphalt. But, there was just something that was like an absolute nightmare about, like, Ohio's roads, and it's hard to gauge what. Where it's like, you look at stuff like this and you should be thinking it's like similarly bad, but it's not quite. Also, I guess maybe he just didn't include, there was the most like exciting clip of the trip really was this moment where it felt like a truck just like kind of weaved past us and like kicked up a bunch of dust. I guess that one wasn't included either. You can see the sun setting. We're running out of time. I remember around this part of the trip we were reminiscing. It was becoming very real that the move was like completing, and we were just kind of decompressing.
We're still like 15 minutes out, but we're about to pass from Minnesota into North Dakota, and this journey is about to end. I guess the next thing you'll see besides the sign for North Dakota will be the apartment.
The final state. Which also, every state you enter is under construction. Why?
Finally at the apartment.
He's tired. Oh man.
Didn't move a whole lot in last night. We got in at 8:30. Didn't want to make too much
Or maybe he
noise
just
to the
woke up.
neighbors. So today will be the unpacking day, or unloading day.
Maybe less tired and more waking up.
I need to shave. I took a shower at least last night, so
What do
I'll
you
show
shave?
what the apartment looks like. So, we're on the 3rd floor. This is my bedroom. Actually, hold on. Can I do this on the fly? Oh, I can. So this is like the biggest apartment.
Yeah, compared to the room at the
This is
beginning of the
biggest bedroom
video.
I've ever had. This is like 3 times the size of my last bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
So out from my bedroom, Johnny's room.
This is really surreal.
It's a little bit smaller.
Man, that room was so empty when we first moved in.
Bathroom, which is very nice because I haven't had a close bathroom in the same building for like 12 years.
Okay, again, I was dealing with the same thing he had been dealing with, but only for 9 months. Anytime we wanted to use the restroom, do anything in like in the kitchen or just anything, we would have to leave the shed, walk down a little path up to a patio and into the house. It was like a little trek every time. This is like, and like I got to experience the full winter experience of it too. So like for him dealing with that for years, this is like a total upgrade. Again, not everything we wanted because it's an apartment. But for now, it's at least getting to like live in a regular room for a while has got to be great.
We've got our living room.
One second, get a little further. This is really funny to already see. It's been 2 weeks since we moved in. There's like, I mean, we've cleaned it up a little bit from everything. Like we've got a TV mounted, sort of a little table. Oh wait, sorry, a TV mounted. I keep forgetting I have to use this fake mouse. A little table thing, 2 chairs. We have a thing sitting here that we might move like down here. Like, you know, I mean, we've already watched a load of anime since we got in. This little cart is amazing, by the way. Gold got this cart to move things around, and I've fallen in love with it. But yeah, we got like, you know, a rug and just like there's so much like we've really settled in 2 weeks. It's really nice. We're kind of lucky. I didn't realize Gold had like a couple pieces of furniture he was bringing. And so like the 2 chairs we had no furniture. So Gold having furniture was kind of like a little nice because like there's like a dining room table like we have here. But yeah, we settled in really nicely. You'll probably see it on like the next cooking stream.
Ooh. AC unit. So it's not central air, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is the one thing I will say. I do have a ceiling fan. I don't know if that's been picking up on the microphone too much or not, but I really want central air. I really miss central air. I can deal with this though because I have a ceiling fan again, and a ceiling fan makes such a difference. And also, the air conditioner isn't in my room, which was like a weird problem of like cooling the place down. With the air conditioner in my room, the air conditioner in my last room was incredibly loud, and also at the shed. When I say last room, I don't mean like the shed room. In the shed, the air conditioner was all the way across the shed, and yeah, I was just cooked. I was deep fried and cooked for any of my previous streams, so like. Honestly, that might be like, besides the whole moving stuff, might be part of why I decided just to not stream for the last few months. Is it was so hot in my room without streaming. Like, I had been complaining about it getting like 85 degrees in my room when streaming. That would just happen some days. If I was streaming on top of that, we'd be hitting like 90 and everything in my room would spontaneously combust.
But that seems to do a pretty good job in here. Plus it's up north, so honestly we probably won't use the AC a whole lot.
I can't wait for winter.
TV wall mount. Master bedroom's over here, which I won't go into. Granted, there's nothing in there now. That's where our friend Kyle is going to live.
Kyle is Gold, by the way.
And then...
yeah, the kitchen. I'm glad he actually did do the little apartment tour. I'm gonna have so much fun if I do cooking streams in here, dude. Also, it's really funny just seeing it with just all this stuff just everywhere. Because again, we've settled in decently. Yeah. So the kitchen, I can, like, this little area over here is, like, perfect for doing, like, meal prep on. So I can probably, like, put a camera, like, here. Yeah. There's an island, yeah. The island is a little weird in certain ways. Just, again, like, having the sink in the island is, like, bizarre to me. Yeah, just having... I mean, it's kind of nice. Okay, so it's kind of nice in certain weird ways. Because, like, the trash can is right here. And so I have, like, this meal prep area. If I want to dump anything, it's just, like, right into the trash. Or, like, crumbs into the sink. And yeah, there's plenty of counter space. I mean, we're using the counter space, but there's enough for all of our little devices. So I think I'll have some fun with it. I will say, if we had gotten the house, if everything had worked out and we got in the house, that house, for everything else I liked about it, the kitchen was kind of terrible. That was something we all kind of accepted, was that the kitchen was, like, passable, but not great. Some of the previous houses we had looked at had amazing kitchens, but, hey, maybe we'll just build a house. I don't know. Wood's probably actually going to be too expensive. I'm actually not sure what we're doing going forward. We'll figure it out. But I don't know why I'm whispering. The one thing I will say, these cabinets have really annoying shelves. I actually need to, like, move the top shelves, like, up so that I can fit half anything in there. I don't know why it keeps clicking the one behind it. Give me my mouse back. There's, like, infinite amounts of cabinet space, but it's in, like, just the right format that it's kind of a little hard to make use of it. But there's so much of it that it's just, like, everything kind of finds space. Like, the one thing I will say, you might notice, like, I wish there was at least one of these cabinets, like, okay, it does have the shelves with the little pins. We have to figure out how to actually get those pins out. They're so stiff. And I don't want to break them because we're liable for anything we break in the apartment, which is one of the reasons why I'm not the biggest fan of living in apartments, yada, yada, yada. We can get into that later. But let me just focus on, like, positives of, like, yeah.
The kitchen. This is a very nice kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't close the door with the trash can. Oops. But,
Lols.
yeah. The no ice maker, we'll have to sort that out.
Yeah, there's just a little machine we got. He loves ice. Granted, I use it too.
But there's, like, LAN ports everywhere.
The correction there is that, unfortunately, they actually ended up being telephone line, like landline, instead of LAN cables, which is bizarre because I think this apartment was built 5 years ago and we're still building just cable, or not even cable, sorry, there is cable, but like landline telephone lines in all of the bedrooms, but no LAN cables? Okay.
Kyle did a pretty good job leaving us some food for the first day.
Oh, that's one thing. Gold didn't move in until like a day or two later, basically. So we were kind of like on our own that first night. It's really weird considering he's the one that got the apartment.
But yeah, we'll get packed and show you all what it looks like later.
Packed?
In the process of moving in, we're filming a couple
Christmas
of weird bits and pieces. Like, there seems to be a slight crack.
Okay, that seems to be completely blown out, but there is like a little crack like that just runs down here. I don't think it's like a major thing, but oh, cryptid.
There's messed up paint.
Yeah, this is okay. This is just one of those things that we know is like a good idea to do. Is take pictures of what the apartment looks like when you move in, because no matter how nice the apartment is or how good the management is, there's always the chance they're going to want to nitpick the quality of the place and like get money out of you on your way out. So yeah, it's always kind of wise to do.
Everywhere.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
Technically, I think the biggest fault is in my bedroom with this big crack on the door.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And a couple more screws on the floor.
I don't know why there's screws everywhere.
Oh yeah, and a couple of the window slats fell off as soon as I opened the window. Technically, I think I can just tape that on there and then just kind of slot them in place and it'll hold forever.
Yeah.
So I'm not really going to make a fuss about that.
Yeah, it's like, that's, I guess, the silly thing is, yeah, we're not like, oh, you gotta fix this, and this. Oh, this is cracked. We're just making sure they know we didn't do it.
So we're slowly making it through all the...
Suddenly, stuff. I would say his room is a lot more clean than this at this point.
The bedroom is starting...
My room's still a mess. Okay, that's the one thing. I am bad at, like, unboxing and everything. Like, I haven't got my painting up, and I've just got boxes on my floor. it's some stuff that, like, I can't really put up shelves properly while I'm here. And I have a lot of little Nickelodeon. I have a lot of knickknacks, and I do not have very many places to put them. Like, if I go back over to, one second, webcam scene. If I moved this blanket, for instance... Oh, I don't have the arrow anymore. If I move the blanket in the windowsill, because of the way the curtains work, I can't just, like, put something there. And again, the behind me is probably just going to be the painting, and my room is, like, nice sized, and I really like it, but there are limits when you're not allowed to build into the place. Like, I if we get a house, I'd like to build in, like, shelves and for all of my, or like, I don't know. I'd have more options for, like, customizing over time that I don't really have here. So all my little knickknacks might still stay in boxes for another year. I do want to at least get out my I do want to get out my lava lamp again, but it's not going to be visible behind me, and that's the main problem. Is I think to get a shelf that is, like, thin enough that it doesn't have to be, like, self-standing, you kind of have to build it into the wall, and I can't do that. So that's like one of the weird catches of apartment living.
To look more like a bedroom. Although right now I've got wires all over the floor, and there is boxes of project stuff that I won't actually have room for. Though I might move some of it back to the garage, because the garage is a little bit bigger than I.
It is okay. I understand what he means about needing to shave. We did end up getting a hair trimmer. It is funny the difference of both me and him. We were so frazzled, and, like, he's, like, cleaned up in this clip. I'm cleaned up now. He just hard cut to it too.
Johnny's room is actually starting to look more like a room. He's got a little bit more of a business aesthetic to his desk now.
Sort of. That clip is still so funny to me. He literally just, like, entered the room while I was, like, that is there's no planning on that. That is, like, I really do have cryptid energy sometimes, I've noticed, with the way I just appear in the background of footage, or I'm, like, behind the camera recording for him usually, but, anyway, yeah, so, eventually I need to get a bed frame. I did find a little, for just, like, a couple bucks, a little shelf to put here. I did have, like, a shelf that used to be the one on the back of my desk, so, my desk used to have, like, a shelf on the back. This is what I used to connect my webcam to when I had, like, this Lego contraption I had that was, like, a crazy adjustable, like, webcam thing before I just started sticking this one onto the computer when I switched webcams. I used to have some stuff up there, and that's one of the other things. With that one not there, some of my knickknacks don't have a home. Part of my thing is I need bookshelves, too. So, like, I'm using space for books that could go to knickknacks, but I don't know. But yeah, so I'm like slowly moving in with getting things sorted, and I've got, like, stuff back here. But I do kind of like, this is the first time I've ever really done the sort of floating desk setup, and I do kind of like the position like this, because this means I'm facing the door, and it's just like, if I have my door open, it's like I can socialize a little bit. It is kind of quaint.
We still have to make him a bed frame since he doesn't have one.
Oh, it cut away. He did record that. Cool.
We still have to make him
I just wanted to point out real quick, this is the only box that we saw damage on. I'm not sure what happened, but it got this, like, crazy slice in it. Luckily, all the stuff inside was fine, but the box itself took a blow. Yeah, I did not realize he posted this video after we had gotten somewhat situated. The boxes and stuff are still in there, but it's actually kind of funny. The only reason this is on here is just too much light while we're watching anime. But Yeah, this is where the anime took place. We've already indoctrinated Gold into 2 whole animes in the last 2 weeks. Might have been a bit much. A little too bingy. But I don't know. We're just kind of chilling and settling in. I say we're chilling, but Dan was like employed within like 3 days.
The living room definitely looks official now. We have our TV mounted that I had in the workshop.
Did we really move in like all this stuff that quickly? I thought he posted this over a week ago. I know it's been 2 weeks, but we did all that in the first few days. That's insane.
The gaming TV cabinet I have set up over there.
I mean, we've done a little bit more since then. Like, again, all these boxes aren't here, and it's a little bit more cleaned up. But those first few days were insane.
There. And then Kyle had these 2 chairs we brought over. We brought the bean bags. Kitchen's starting to look a little bit more or less cluttered, depending on how you look at it.
Oh yeah, so here's the table that Gold had. This. Whoa! I just started moving my stream. Like, oh gosh. Oh, put that back. This thing got replaced with a water dispenser elsewhere. Got a pressure cooker. Got an air fryer. Got our mixing the stuff. Like, so you can see we use up the space, but there is so much space. Bananas for scale. Oh, we should get some more bananas. I could go for more bananas.
We went out to Walmart the other day, bought a rice cooker and a ice maker. When we
That's
went
not a
out
rice
to
cooker.
Walmart the other day, I
That's a
also had
pressure
to buy a
cooker.
hair trimmer since I left my previous one in Maryland. So
All the way in
yesterday I
Maryland.
was able to run over to the store that I'm.
See, I don't have these weaknesses. I cut my hair with a little tiny thing just for getting the edge work done, and then scissors. All of this is done with scissors. I don't need a hair trimmer.
Trying to transfer over to.
Ice cooker. No, that's what the other machine
They
is for.
said they're aware that I'm trying to transfer, but there is a slight issue
Maybe it took him a
on
couple
the
days
end
to
of
get
my
it.
previous store where they're trying to work it out. Contacted them. They said they're working on it. It might take a day or 2, so I might have a job. We'll see. We'll give them a couple days, and worst case scenario, I'll just start filling out applications to other places. I hear Menards is hiring. That pretty much
Menards!
concludes the moving video. There's not really much more that I need to show you. As far as projects that we've got to work on, there are a few that I will be doing. Obviously, I've got the lithium batteries that I've got to put together into my moped. We're going to hold off on a lot of the major stuff like that, but like...
Is that like a fire alarm? Don't you have one in your room, Gold? Oh, I have one too. It's just been behind my closet door the whole time. Oh, okay.
As far as moving in stuff, there are a couple.
I didn't know I
bits and
had one.
pieces that I have to do. I need to
I've
make
had that
a
door
little
open the
mount
whole
that
time.
I can stick my second monitor on for my computer setup. I have another TV that I usually use for the bedroom that I had wall mounted before. We're going to have to make something that will attach to my bed instead of attaching to my wall because I can't do wall mounts in the apartment. And stuff like
Yeah, that's a downside. He'd
the
love to wall
stick
mount
vacuum
things
that
at
we
an
have.
old
I need to make a
room.
mount for that because that was also wall mount and I can't wall mount anything.
I don't know if we'll ever make that mount or if it'll just sit on the floor like we've had it for the last 2 weeks. I mean, it almost doesn't need a mount. It kind of does just work fine on the floor.
So, small stuff like that, but I'll probably post updates about that. So, I guess that's it. I'll see you in the next video.
Bye, Dan. Wow, let's...
Besides problems that
It
have had with my
autoplayed.
weld this month,
Oh,
I have
maybe you
car
get to see the
problems.
front of his car.
so I can drive it.
Oh, you only got to see a little bit of it. His car is so cool, dude. Does he have another view of the front? Does he bother, like, blurring out his license plates? Sorry, that's just paranoia on my part. The closest we get is at the start.
Besides problems that have
Can I
had
pause
with my
it?
weld this month, I have
you can barely see it, but it's got like a Gurren Lagann like mech face painted onto the front, and I love it. I love his car so much, and I feel bad that it's dying. It's always in a state of dying, but he's always in a state of fixing it. So I don't know, maybe it'll last forever. Ship of Theseus, Car of Dionysus, Dan of Thursday. Here in my car, anyway, I guess I can get rid of that because that's all that's there. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm 1,400 miles, 1,500 miles away from where I started, but the stream only had one hiccup, so I guess I can stream off of Wi-Fi, so that's good. Modern Wi-Fi is apparently buff. What do I want to add to this story so far? It's been a good 2 weeks. I'm slowly settling into the point where I'm like working on like game dev stuff. So basically, while Gold is settling in and figuring out some of his situation stuff, and also decompressing from months of attempting to like do house purchase and months of finding apartment, all this kind of stuff for us. Like, yeah, definitely, it's fair if Gold's gonna, been enjoying a little bit of a break. But while he's been sort of settling in and trying to get into a new routine with a change of pace, so what I've been working on is Great Gun Gauntlet is still a early access game, and I still want to fulfill promises I made with that. Now, I would like to make another game at some point. Basically, what I'm doing now is I'm working on assets that were like unfinished textures in that. One second, this is bothering me again. Stop. Yeah, so I'm working on assets while he's doing that. Then we'll see. Like, there was a couple tasks he has to finish. We were doing a new level select screen. Preparing a couple things for later content, and then I guess we'll get to a point. I'm pretty certain we'll get to a point soon where there's not going to be that many like programming technical tasks for Gold to do, and so I'll be like working on just content for that game for a bit, while like technically we could start another game, but we'll see how that gets on. That's some time away at this point. But so I'm already settling back into game dev. On top of that, though, I would like to get that second computer that Gold had bought that I will pay him back for. That's like, this computer is getting old. I need to replace this computer. I need to like just take the little bit of time to figure out what were we missing on that. Oops, sorry. Finish that, get a new computer set up here. Got to do some unpacking still, sort of. Like, all of my usable stuff is pretty much unpacked. I mean, there's a couple little project items and whatnot, and I need to dig a box out of the pile of stuff in the garage where, like, it's just kind of a pain. I have a couple pulls, I think, for a shelf in that box. I can't put up a little shelf that I can put a few things on until I get that. Just a couple, like, notable little things like that to do. But, otherwise, yeah, so I'm settling in good. I'm liking the area. Now, obviously, my long-term plan, so we had always talked about, like, western Minnesota, just because there's a couple cities out that way. They've got the lakes, they've got the wooded areas. It's a little bit more interesting than, like, you cross into North Dakota flat. It just flattens back out. So I do like to like get out and do things sort of out in the environment. There's like more homesteading options. There's just more home options in general in Minnesota. Everything kind of fizzles out. Like, you have to live in a city in North Dakota, or you just don't really live anywhere. Um, so that does leave this as a very like temporary thing. We have like a 1 year lease that we have to do, so we'll be planning things probably again by next year. We'll figure out what the next few months entail. Um, Part of it is just seeing also like I do kind of feel bad that we couldn't make the house thing work. There is a bit of a it's FOMO adjacent worry that I don't know. Like, let's see again. Everything's on fire out there. Like, I don't know. The world is in a weird spot right now, and I'm a little worried about the future, I guess, in certain ways. And living in an apartment doesn't give you that sort of sense of security. I don't know why this like chunk of my screen is just shimmering. But it's not blue. Why is it shimmering? It's not blue. I'm leaking out into the environment. Um, but it's like if I'm too close to it, it gets worse. Um, how how is that? One second. One. I can. I, mm, Let me fix this. Eh. I, a little better. Oh, but now I got. Oh, now the shirt's not as good. How is that blue enough? Huh? Whatever. Um. Wait, how bad does it get when I? Why is that not? Oh, I guess the sun's starting to like go down. I'm like, so okay. The start of the stream when I did this, my face just like turned completely white. How does it look if I shut it all the way? Like, how dark does it get in here? It's not great. Which by the way, quiet hours are like 10 or whatever, so definitely can't do late streams. But I don't think that's going to be too bad of a problem. This apartment is pretty well insulated. I haven't really heard other people or anything. It is interesting. We are third floor, and we have this little patio thing. Again, I'm gonna take full advantage of living in a city, and living in a nice city, for a bit. Um, and like enjoy. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I wanted to live more out in the country, and I don't get to enjoy all the things I wanted to enjoy. I'm gonna take like full advantage of like the positives of like there's stuff like all over. Like, there's different restaurants everywhere. Like, there are benefits to living in a city. I'm going to enjoy them. And also like third floor, it's a nice view. Um, we really should try to use that patio for like, I don't know, we get some more burger meat or something and make some burgers. Oh wait, he was making a little table before we do that. I don't know, just enjoy it. Like, again, I mentioned earlier in the stream, there's a gym, a little gym room, and it's just a 2 or 3 machines and um, a treadmill. And uh, because I'm not doing a bunch of physical labor like I was planning on doing. Instead, I decided, okay, I'm going to build up things like my endurance and whatnot, so that if I do get what I want in the long run and do get like a yard with a lot of like work to do in the yard, I'll be like more physically like ready, which is one of those things. I realize like I don't have core strength, I guess, like around my gut. Those muscles terrible. I've got leg strength, I've got arm strength. Got to work on that core strength. So that's probably like one of those things I can do with the gym. So I for now though, I've been mostly focused on like just working on like things like my endurance and I've every other day I've been just doing a mile on the treadmill and doing a couple things with the weights. kind of slowly getting my numbers up because I feel like I'm really out of shape. Like 15 minutes, 1 mile, not really able to do like more than one 15-minute mile. It's not great. I used to like. I mean, I guess maybe if I was walking, it would be a lot longer. I'm trying to get the times down, which is the fun part. Is you have the timer and everything to sort of compete against your own scores. But so at least I have some motivation and some entertainment of using the gym. Um, but yeah, we'll see if I can get some of that endurance and max speed and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I just need to do some fitness because I'm too docile. That's like the weirdest thing for my lifestyle. Has always been this like weird intersperse of like, okay, I've got to dig a hole for a couple weeks, or like throw logs onto a pile, and then like weeks of sitting at a chair doing nothing. So maybe get something a little bit more long term balanced added in. We do have some bikes. At some point, I should see about how like just bicycling around the neighborhood is and do some other stuff. Of course, days like today, I feel like I'm not taking full advantage of it. I could double check, but it's been very on and off lately. It's like you want to make use of the summer, but then another part of me gets worried when I see it being like smoggy out from the wildfires. Because Canada's been having those wildfires again, and they just kind of have been shoving smog down. And so, like, yeah, today's fine. It looked fine outside, but it's the double like the two punch of LA has been on fire as well, apparently, which I think the Canadian wildfires, they look like they're over. But everybody's still like it's funny, I'm complaining about this being a problem, but if I'd stayed in Maryland, it would have still been somewhat of a problem because now like the East Coast is covered in smog, it looks like. Um but yeah, it is the one-two punch of like it's like Canadian wildfires and then Los Angeles wildfires, like kind of back and forth, which is a bit of a pain. But today I think it's just regular foggy. You can kind of tell the difference. Um, uh, but yeah, we got to take advantage of the summer while it's still here. I'm very much expecting to enjoy the winter. Um, Gosh, there's a lot to say. There's a lot to say, but nothing that's like coming to mind like very distinctly. I will say I've been very happy like with the change of pace and everything so far. Um, just feeling really good and motivated. Hopefully that momentum stays. I mean, me, Dan, and Gold, like, should I just? We're roommates now. It's weird. Like when you're on the internet, you want to like say somebody's username, but like it's Kyle, me, Dan, and Kyle. Um, uh, we're definitely getting along really well. Like I obviously we've been friends for a long time. I kind of knew it would work out well. But like roommate situations different. That's the other reason why like renting felt like a kind of a good idea. Is just like, well, we'll find out how much we make each other go a little crazy. But so far so good. I would say it's feeling decently comfortable. I'm senses of humor mix well is like always like a weird thing that you realize when you're like around someone for a more extended period of time. Is like if your senses of humor and like the types of media you're into like don't match, then you just don't have anything to talk about, I guess. And I guess that's been kind of like a little better um than kind of like I don't know. Other people I knew and family members and whatnot. There's a reason why it's like me and Dan versus the world. um, or me, Dan, and Kyle at this point versus the world. There's a camaraderie. Is that how you pronounce that word? That just works out really well. Um, but yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty happy. Um, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm cleaning my nails on stream. What am I doing? I don't know how to do IRL. Um, yeah, so I'll try. I need to figure out what I was streaming. That's one thing. I should probably at least try to stream once a week again, just to like not let it just die off. I'm feeling less weird about like I don't know various things that had me stop streaming for a bit there besides just the move. Um, yeah, what a week. So I'm just thinking like last week or whatever it is, 2 weeks ago. Just what a crazy week that is. Again, it was a 24-hour drive. It was 24 hours of driving that we did in 36 hours, which gives you like a huge amount of like context clues of like how insane Dan is. That like, wait a second, 36 hours? Or wait, was it 36 hours? It was probably about 36 hours, yeah. Um, uh, what do you mean you only have like 12 hours of downtime in 2 hours of travel? Uh, or 24 hours of travel. Um, that's just crazy. It does give you an idea of how many breaks we did take and for how long, considering I mentioned that he probably only got like 4 hours of sleep. But man, what a journey. I probably will wrap up this stream for now, just because like I don't know. I mostly did want to just do the little reaction to his video. I need to figure out what I'm streaming, and I don't know if it'll be like one of those weird things for like a week or two. I stream and then I take a break for another like week or two because we got the computer working and now I gotta reconfigure everything forever. But that's a whole thing I need to do. But yeah, working on game dev stuff again. As we settle in here again, I know Lim, you yourself would be most curious. I'll work on the script. I'll finish it eventually. I don't know. I shouldn't actually say I'll finish it because I know for me there's no full guarantee. I mean, if somebody else makes a video doing the same thing, I'll probably just give up. I mean, what? But I'm really bad. I'm really bad at finishing edited videos, let alone like making a script for one. One of these evenings, maybe I'll focus on it again. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I think we're finally coming down from the sort of weird high of like all the group theory stuff, where it's just like, okay, now we have a better idea of like what's relevant. I'm not sure how much I'd actually cover of the actual like recent deck cipher stuff. It will be mentioned at least. But the number theory stuff was, or group, wait, yeah, group theory stuff. Was it group theory? Oh, my brain's cooked. That was just so much going on. I'm like, what even in my video is like relevant anymore? I mean, obviously all the early parts of the video will always be relevant because like, you've got to explain, why do we do this? Why do we do this? Like, the eyes are so poorly covered. Like, I would love to just be like, oh yeah, you can look at just this other video if you want the basics of, why do we have 83 and all that kind of stuff. But there's nothing. There really isn't. Nobody covers the cryptography. No. So it's just like, I guess I gotta do a full thing. This will be my half A press video. Except for, there's no way I could ever make something as good as Pan and Koic. His visuals are, like, unbeatably good. I mean, maybe beatable, but the amount of effort I'd ever be willing to put in, like, maybe I need, like, what is it, After Effects or one of those video editors? I've been using some pretty, like, rudimentary, like, editing all this time. To put visuals on screen has always been a little bit of a pain. But anyway, yeah, that's just stuff I'll probably be working on as I settle in a little bit more here. But yeah, I'm enjoying the area. I'm enjoying the vibes. I will say that I'm already feeling pretty correct about the fact that this area is more chill. obviously living in a city, you're always going to have some level of like city oddities. There's downsides to living in an apartment for sure. Again, I can't modify anything. Um Only little nails. That's all I can do on the walls. And even then, I gotta be careful about how much I'm doing. Um, Again, I wish it had central cooling. I thought it did when we were first looking at it. Some of the apartments did, some didn't, and I guess I mixed them up a little bit. Central AC would have been lovely, but again, it's fine. Like again, like it says it's 80 degrees in my room right now. I thought it was probably cooler than that. Ceiling fan, you at least have to have a ceiling fan. That's just like that's such a lovely invention that we have created. Um but yeah, so like little downsides here or there. It's weird for me to get used to like just being in a place with like a lot of other people again. Um but I guess it's like one of those weird things. No, it's 80 degrees. It was 83 degrees the other day. It's 80 degrees today. Talk to me a week ago. It was 83 degrees. Wait. Oh, right. Okay. The bot. The bot is really funny because that goes to show you why I'm going to convert the entire thing to a script-based system. It can still do the eyes because I did that in like what was that? Was that JavaScript or whatever the scripting language for this is? I did that in like JavaScript or something because it could make better sentences. And so the eyes work. Nothing else does. Well, besides basic commands. I asked ChatGPT how to solve the eyes, and it told me to first alphabet chain only one of the messages, then finally we must put Amos next to the starting letters. How do you alphabet chain only one of the messages? The whole point of it, you've got at that point you've got the first message or one of the you have to pick one of the first three messages, and you have only got two isomorphs to work with if you're only doing one of them. What are you talking about, bot? Anyway, yeah, I will say this area does feel more chill besides like some of the little quirks of living in a city. Like I've noticed Friday night and Saturday night specifically, there are still people that like drive around their loud vehicles. But that's like I'm not sure like okay, here's the thing. Despite there still being the occasional people revving their engines and doing stuff like that, I'm not entirely sure if it's any louder than where I lived because the people in the area I lived were obsessed with cars like nowhere else I've ever seen. It felt like they had like an insane car culture of just like I mean, there was a drag race strip like down the street. So that was like part of it. But like big country trucks on top of that, on top of anytime you'd go into the city, everybody was crazy. I don't know, like even though there is some loud vehicle stuff, I think it's one of those things where it's just like even with my window open, it's not enough to like really bother me, but there is that like underlying little part of my brain that's just like it'd be nice not to have that. It'd be nice. I guess the only other thing, like, just trying to, like, even look for, like, oh, things that would be a little bit better here or there. Um, Even with these, like, heavy, whatever these are called. Why do I forget? I know curtains, but I can't remember blinds. Even with those, I've noticed, so I've been sleeping really well because I've been so tired from all the moving stuff, but now that I'm, like, regressing back into my usual self. Occasionally I'll like open my eyes back up at night and realize how bright my room is, and that does make it a little difficult for me to sleep sometimes. And it's just the fact that out this way, well, okay, the city light is like one thing, which is really funny. Okay, it's not this bright. This really is just my my webcam just picks up so much light. But I would usually leave them like this during the day, but I can't do it while streaming. It's kind of unfortunate. I'm just looking out into the city. Um, there's a bit of like regular city light as like part of the problem at night, which is crazy how much light there is in cities at night. It's unfortunate in some ways. It's like we live in one of the areas. If we get away from the city, if we just drive out at like an hour or whatever out into the wilderness, you could have like the most dark sky, lovely, just light in the sky kind of things. I swear, even in the highways driving here, I'm like, are there already more stars in the sky than where I was living? Um, and so it's a little unfortunate that every apartment in this area generally will have garages because winter gets like really cold. You have to have a garage if you want to have a vehicle. And I guess every garage has a light on at night or something, or there's just a load of lights out there. So the the parking lot's very bright at night, unfortunately. So that's a little awkward, but the blinds do most of the job, and I've been sleeping fine, I guess. It's just like little things like that where it's like very out of your control, but at the same time, even living in the country, you had a little bit of that. Like there was a family across from my old house that had just a really bright floodlight that just, I mean, there was a reason I had so many blinds in the front of my, like, I can't complain about any of this considering like I was living in the country out that way, but because the house was so stupid and the location was so stupid, um, like that front, um, that front bedroom I had been living in, I would be woken up randomly by like early in the morning, people with their big trucks down the street, super loud. Could never leave the window open to keep it cool, like off season. The vehicles are loud. That light was just like shining into my room. There's like so many, like anything I could ever complain about, I can just complain more about the old place in certain ways. Um, that was one of the things that would have been nice about the house we would have gotten is it was back further away from the street, and it was in a decently rural area. There wasn't even anybody across the street. Honestly, that house wasn't that far from town, but did not have any other houses around it. It was like, I don't know, it was nice. Let's go buy it. I think it's probably still for sale. Oof. We kind of, I know this is how house buying goes. I kind of feel bad for the sellers. They were nice people. We tried our hardest to get that house, but like as stuff fell through. Gold, how okay are you with me just mentioning what happened? Because it's stupid. Do you agree it's stupid? I agree it's stupid. Are my eyebrows always that raised differently? Dear goodness. I don't know actually if Gold's here or if he's doing something. I could go check. That's a weird thing. Who am I streaming to? It's stupid, but it is what it is. You can go over the details if you like. Okay, so the simple like explanation of what happened between my last stream and now. So Kyle's job is having difficulties and put him on a sort of temporary leave because they just don't have work. That meant, you don't have an active income. And not a single bank is willing to, like, give you a mortgage if you don't have an active income. Even if you have almost completely unbroken work history, making plenty of money, and, like, the assets to, like we have good down payment money. That was like kind of one of the things. We should have been able to get a house, and even in this economy. But no, banks are evil, I guess, or just banks are no risk. Like understandably, banks are no risk. Everything should have been fine. Like I just think the fact that like They weren't even like willing to go with like options um with like higher down payment, which I mean, it it's for the best. In the long run, it's for the best that maybe this didn't work out, or that like some of the options we probably wouldn't have gone with even if they said, "Oh yeah, we can do this." Because like the FOMO would have probably had us spending more money than we probably should have anyway. So I think this is all fine in the long run. Because again, just because you have the money to like appease the bank by putting a little bit extra in doesn't mean you should spend that. That would put us in a bad spot. You know, maybe the banks know what they're doing. I don't know. Whatever the case, it's frustrating and disappointing, but also you go with the flow. And also, I don't know, banks are annoying. Um, so I mean, I still like. Part of me is like, do we silver lining this and see if we could just build our own house or something stupid like that? Now that me and Dan are here, and it's just like, okay, what else am I gonna do? I don't know. I don't know. I do feel weird talking about it just because it is like finances adjacent topic, but I don't know. Um, I don't know if the house market's gonna get better or worse from here. I mean, it does feel like it's a bit of a bubble, so like hopefully it gets better. Um, the problem for me is like it is tempting to want to build a house just because building a house is like new and it's like the same price or better sometimes, but it's also could become a complete pain because the economy is so unstable now. I'm expecting wood is going back up in price, I think, again, and everything else is just going to get worse. So I'm really not sure what the future holds. That's the uncertainty that I'm just not looking forward to in the next year or so. Because I don't know, some people like voting for people that hate you, I guess. Um, but yeah, I think I'll enjoy myself here anyway. I mean, it is unfortunate. I've been trying to think like what I can do to maybe I don't know. I don't really think there's much like plant related stuff I can do here, so I really should pick up like other hobby related stuff. I'll do my best to keep the apartment nice and clean. Um, it's like I really should take full advantage of the fact that I was expecting to spend a lot of my time doing other things that I just can't do now that I'm in an apartment. So it's like it opens up time, I guess, in a weird way, but also I'm really, really bad at using time given to me. If I'm like gonna be super, super honest about like the way I live and the stupid person I am, sometimes I kind of wish there were more things that like forced me to like keep busy because I will not do it very well on my own. And I'm not sure if apartment living is going to be great for that, but hey, we'll see. Maybe I can become a better person. Maybe all I needed was to go to the gym. Um, Trying to think if there's anything else worth talking about. I don't know. I feel like there were a couple other notes about the journey itself that were kind of goofy. But, you know, I feel like the video spoke for itself for the most part. Really just long drive. The long drive. Yeah, I've gone a bit longer than I expected. This is a full 2 hour, 40 minutes. So I think I will. Why does that not have a transition? It just pops back. There's supposed to be a swipe effect. Anyway, I think I'll go. I'll talk to you all probably, I don't know, next week at some point maybe. What game do I even play? The Long Driven. What game do I play? I mean, I guess I could just pick up my Minecraft map stuff that I was working on. That would probably be a good use of my time. That would just be like, oh, I can talk about more things. Anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all later.